And the championship battle is starting to heat up as we just finished the last few minutes of the practice session. We'll get some highlights of some of the drivers as they sort of play around a little bit. So quickly to give you a rundown on the championship as it stands. Going into the final round, Brett Hobbs, still yet to have won a race this season, is leading the championship with 864 points. Obviously that disconnect last week. He still scored 78, surprisingly, just for showing up. In second place, Nick Ryan, 46 points behind on 810. Jason Crawford in third, 804. And then down in fourth equal, Blaine Densley and Justin Wright, both with 792. So a few guys there with a chance of coming away with a good position on the championship. Of course, it's 150 points for a feature win, 144 for second, 138 third, 132 for fourth, and 126 for fifth, 120 for sixth. So plenty of points on offer yet again. Plenty of opportunities for some movers and shakers throughout the season. Just trying to get my live timing to work. Oh, rightio, just been told we didn't have audio for my intro. So we will do the race info once more. We're here at VOLUSIA Speedway, the half-mile dirt semi-banked oval, D-shape in its characteristic, slightly wider, longer apex in 1 and 2, tighter bend at 3 and 4. Expect to see multiple racing lines through here. 31 degrees Celsius, 57% humidity, and a slight breeze across the track. So this fixed setup race obviously will play quite important with that little bit of a breeze. It shouldn't affect the racing line slightly, shouldn't affect the racing line too much, but especially as the track starts to slick off, we'll see that dust start to form and the marble start to slide up the track. So we are just finishing practice now. We have, no, that timing screen's still not working. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So we're just going to jump through a few of the guys in the session. Craig Platter on screen there, working the high line. We've got, who else is here? Justin Wright is here as well. He's testing out down the high side as well. Blaine Densley coming out very late in the practice session, sitting a couple of laps. He is a little bit off the pace right now, so yet to find his groove. He's back in the pit lane at the moment. As I mentioned before, we've seen some pretty spectacular crashes here in practice as drivers are testing the limits of this circuit. So I can get rid of that screen if it's not working, and I can just run this on full screen. Rightio, so a couple of technical issues here at the moment. Of course, we have our new producer Rob behind the scenes at the moment, and just getting the feel for how things are all working. Got Tyson up in race control tonight after his vacation last week. He was off on some tropical island apparently, enjoying some margaritas and the company of business associates, I believe. I know he's listening, so I'm just having a bit of a wind up there and he can't answer back. Alrighty. So once again, going over the championship standings, Brett Hobbs leading, Nick Ryan in second, Jason Crawford third, Blaine Densley and Justin Wright in fourth equal. So at the moment as it stands, Brett Wheeler the fastest in practice. He's down the order a little bit in 15th. Obviously had a few missed rounds here. So Brett Hobbs currently the fastest on track of the series contenders. Then where we got Nick Ryan down the order a little bit. He's well, second off the pace, so I don't think he's really given it 100% just yet. Yeah, Wheeler fastest, but not in the championship hunt. So Brett Hobbs the fastest of the championship contenders. Where have we got Jason Crawford? He is not here. So Jason Crawford in third place as it stands, not here. He does have 78 points up his sleeve in the drop round. However, Blaine Densley, I've already mentioned, down the timing screen a little bit. Justin Wright sitting in 4th place right now. So a couple of the guys in contention, setting some good times. The rest not here, surprisingly. So we jump on board now for a little bit with Tyler Sheaf. Late to the series, not the quickest guy out on track, but a very fierce competitor all the same. Certainly seen him improve as the season's gone on. He looks to be working the low line at the moment, trying to get a bit of rhythm. As always, we'll start out low, and as the main sort of develops on, we'll see the cars slide up higher. This track being so wide, we will see 3 or 4 wide throughout the feature. Plenty of opportunities for slide jobs, plenty of opportunities for passing those multiple lines, those different apex corners. Not really an apex in dirt, is it? Those different radius corners, that's the word I'm looking for. There we go. So 30 seconds left now in practice before we move into qualifying. Clayton Davies there in the 50 car. Again, looks to be running the high side. So just a few guys, whee, and a bit of a moment there. Picks up the right rear on the wall. Back down to the pits. So once again, the final round of the DSL Welding Services 360 Sprint Car Series. The championship is on the line here in finals week for SRW TV. Drivers right now just having their race briefing from our race director Tyson. And we will wait to see who is going to jump early in qualifying, who's going to wait a little bit, set the benchmark, chase the times. So it looks like Michael Locke first out on the track in the graffiti art car. Tony Walsh out on track also. So Michael Locke starts his first flyer. Trick here, of course, is getting the drive out of the corners. At the moment, we've got a pretty fresh track state coming out of practice, so it does reset into qualifying. So plenty of grip to be had. The trick is to keep the car pointing straight, get that power down to the ground. Big long run down the straights, carrying momentum through the corners. What you don't want to do is get the car too sideways too quickly. That's going to scrub all your speed off. So Justin Wright there as well, out early for qualifying. Tony Walsh in his lap has a bit of a moment. He touches the wall, so that'll it'll dirty his lap. It won't count, so he'll need to set another one. And it's a big moment for Brett Hobbs in qualifying. He ends up into the wall, rolling the car. That's going to give himself some damage, so he will return to the pit lane, I would think. Reset the car. No, it looks like he's carrying on, so obviously feels like he hasn't got that much damage. He's going to go set a flying lap. Our championship, no he's not, he's going to bin out. So our championship leader, not with the qualifying he would have hoped for, Braden Miller in the number 2 car. Again, very fierce competitor, expect to see him up near the front. He already has pole with his first lap at a 13.64. Setting his final lap of qualifying now, coming across the line, and it is slower. 13.6. Blaine Densley there, finishing his qualifying. He just pips lap with a 13.618. Braden Miller 13.619. So only 1/1000th of a second there between first and second. Those two certainly seem to be the key qualifiers throughout the season. And again, we see them up there. Brett Hobbs, we've talked about him being the sort of the Mr. Consistency, yet to win a race. Don't think he's had a pole either. He's currently sitting down in 6th place. 5th place, sorry. Craig Flatter in the 69 car again. Someone to watch. Been a constant performer throughout the series. Sets his qualifying time. He jumps up into 3rd place with a 13.638. So as we run down, Blaine Densley 13.618. Braden Miller 13.619, Nick Ryan 13.630. Whee, and the timing screen's just all changed again. So 13.60 now for Brett Wheeler. Improves on his first lap time. Blaine Densley, goes from 2nd to 1st, sorry. Blaine Densley jumps down to 2nd. And apparently we've got a few with very similar times. As I look down, Nick Ryan 13.63, Craig Platter 13.63, Clayton Davies 6.5, Justin Wright 6.6, Brett Hobbs 6.6. And then we jump down into the sevens, Nathan Allen, Tyler Sheaf, Luke Johnston, Jason Burke, Tony Walsh in the 14s, so he's not had a very good qualifying at all. Cowie in the 14s as well as Michael Locke, so not the greatest qualifying session for those boys. Alrighty, and Tyler Sheaf there in the wall to end his qualifying session sideways. So 48 seconds remaining in qualifying. It does seem that all drivers have set their times, so we might get a little bit of a time jump. Just as we run out the clock a little bit here, your podium as it's, your qualifying as it sits right now: Brett Wheeler first, Blaine Densley second, Braden Miller third, Nick Ryan fourth, Craig Platter fifth, Clayton Davies 6, Justin Wright 7, Brett Hobbs 8, Nathan Allen 9, Tyler Sheaf 10, Luke Johnson 11, 12, Jason Burke 13, Tony Walsh 14, Andrew Cowan, and 15, Michael Locke. So a good field here tonight, 15 cars in the lobby, slightly more than what we've had in previous weeks. Certainly sort of around that dozen mark. So a few extras here, a couple of guys missing from the championship fight. So we have for Heat 1, Brett Wheeler starting on the pole, Braden Miller. No, that's not quite right. Yes, it is. Sorry. Braden Miller starting second, Craig Platter third, Justin Wright fourth, Nathan Allen fifth, Luke Johnson sixth, Tony Walsh seventh, and in 8th place for the first heat we have Michael Locke. 2 heats tonight, so obviously we have had a few weeks where we've had to stretch into that 3rd heat. At the moment it is just the 2. Once again, the finishing positions here from the 1st heat will determine the left side of the feature. The positions from the 2nd heat will determine the right side grid of the feature. So a chance for these guys to improve their qualifying time. And seems Brett Wheeler having a bit of a technical issue there, so just listening to him on the driver chat there, something about the setup not being correct. So the pace truck pulls away, sponsored by Promo Department once again. Obviously we can't run the BMW here, we do have the truck. So whilst it doesn't have the sponsorship of the Promo Department, we do once again thank Promo Department for their continued sponsorship of the pace car throughout the SRW series. Yeah, the BMW would certainly be an interesting addition to the dirt. I don't quite know if it'd be able to keep the power down. Tyson can't seem to keep the car under control on the concrete, let alone the dirt. So the addition of a manual safety car would have to employ a professional dirt racer to keep control of it. As we all know, Tyson there, bin the safety car on the return lap. Never forget. Hashtag never forget. Alrighty, so 1 to go. And Brett Wheeler in the 56 leads the pack down for Heat 1, 8 laps. Here at VOLUSIA Speedway, we are just about to go green. They come down the back straight. And it's the calm before the storm right now. Coming around the final bend, waiting for the flag to drop. The lights are out. And the green flag is waved. Barney up there in the booth, and it's a pretty even start from the front row. Brett Wheeler does have the inside line advantage, and he slides up the track a little bit there, getting up in front of Braden Miller, holding advantage. Going into 3 and 4, the field starts to tuck in behind. Mainly running down low to mid at the moment. Braden Miller trying to look up high for a little something, switches over down to the inside into 3, he's got to move up the inside. Not really a slide job, but side-by-side action here as we go through 3 and 4. Brett Wheeler on the outside now, going up the high side. Looks to have advantage, does Braden Miller. Currently sitting in first place down the bottom of the track. But fighting very hard is Brett Wheeler up high. Craig Platter in third, Nathan Allen in fourth. Craig Platter starting to come into this leader battle as well now. Just sticking his nose up the inside of this battle pack, trying to find a bit of space on the track as we've got Platter now in third, looking for an opportunity to make a move. Well, it's been an interesting start to this race, that's for sure. Brett Wheeler finally gets one over on Braden Miller. He's had a bit of a habit this season of getting the whole shot and coming through to win the heat. Craig Platter still trying a few different lines to make an advantage, not doing so. Back in fourth place, Nathan Allen, Justin Wright in fifth, Luke Johnson in sixth. The rest of the field sort of seems to have fanned out a little bit. Couple of little opportunities back there for Luke Johnson trying to get the move over on Justin Wright. But the action is all up the front right now. Braden Miller, oh there goes Luke Johnson, puts the slide job over on Michael Locke, and someone spinned there in the background. Didn't quite catch who that was. That was Craig Platter. So running in third with a serious shot there at making some moves, spins out from the race. We have one to go. No, sorry, I'm a bit behind the call there. It's the checkered flag coming out. And it is Brett Wheeler, followed by Braden Miller. Nathan Allen slips up into third. Luke Johnson fourth. And yeah, Craig Platter there with a bit of a spin finds himself at the back of the grid. Alrighty, and just like that, the first heat is over and we move into the second. Sprint cars, very quick paced, very fast moving, no room to take a breath. So just 7 cars will line up for the second heat. Blaine Densley in first, Nick Ryan second, Clayton Davies third, Brett Hobbs, our series leader, in fourth, Tyler Sheaf in fifth, Jason Burke in sixth, and Cowie rounding out the field in 7th place. Blaine Densley doing a bit of gardening there on the start line. Those of you familiar with Speedway will know the term, trying to lay down some rubber on the start. It's something they do more so in solo bike racing than sprint cars, obviously, because sprint cars have a rolling start. It's not required to get a good launch. But laying rubber down in the track, important all the same. Alrighty, so 2 to green, we follow the pace truck around this half-mile circuit. Interestingly about Volusia, it's had a pretty rocky road, and as far as the history is concerned, it started out as a 38th mile, was expanded out to a quarter mile, and was then further expanded out to a half mile. Somewhere in its line back in the late 80s it was actually paved, before being sold in the early 90s, ripped up and converted back into a dirt track, and it is probably now one of the more commonly used dirt tracks, particularly for the World of Outlaw late models. Also the World of Outlaw sprint cars, UMP modifieds do run here as well, although it's probably a little bit on the bigger side for the modifieds. They tend to prefer the shorter tracks. The late models and 410 sprint cars much favouring these longer, wider tracks. As the pace truck pulls in, waiting for the green flag to drop, and it does, and it is going to be Blaine Densley who has the inside run down into turn 1 and 2. It's Clayton Davies at the moment, sitting in second, working the high line. The 50 car. Oh, that was so wrong. Sorry, guys. Nick Ryan in the 98 car on the outside. Clayton Davies, the 50 car on the inside, trying to make the move work. Bit of contact there, it seems, as the 98 car of Nick Ryan gets dispatched up into the wall. Blaine Densley gets caught up in all of that as well. He eats the tyres on pit road, so that'll see him back into the pit lane. And that was an interesting sort of bit of... That wasn't Blaine Densley that hit the tyres, was it? He's still on track. Brett Hobbs hits the tyres, so our championship leader hits the tyres. Sorry, I was just trying to read the name on screen there, which was showing this Blaine Densley, but obviously not. Brett Hobbs there hitting the tyres. Jason Burke further back in the field now. working his way through, trying to find a little bit of rhythm. He's getting chased down by Nick Ryan. Clayton Davies still in second, trying to make that move, but Blaine, that's really annoying. Jason Burke and Nick Ryan there in third and fourth. That battle's starting to heat up. It is Nick Ryan in the black and red 98 car trying to hunt down Jason Burke in third. He swings one right out wide, trying to get the drive down. You see him bite into the corner, trying to find some grip coming out of the exit, but not quite getting that advantage. Still is Jason Burke getting a better drive on the exit of 2. That's where he's making all of his time right now. 3 and 4, they're kind of even. Meanwhile, up the front, Blaine Densley and Clayton Davies, they seem to have this pretty well run. Not too much pressure. Big, as I say that, big move from Clayton Davies. Doesn't manage to hang on to it there on the final corner. So Blaine Densley winning heat 2, Clayton Davies second, Jason Burke third, Nick Ryan fourth, Tyler Sheath fifth, Cowan sixth, and Brett Hobbs DNF there. Not quite sure what's going on having Blaine Densley's name up on screen all the time. Every time it catches my eye I start to call his car, but we'll just give our overlays a refresh. So 3-minute warm-up session now for all drivers. We'll cycle through some of the cars as they go around. Get to showcase some of the liveries that the drivers are running. See what lines they're looking to take as we progress into the 30-lap feature. Luke Johnson running quite a nice sort of white, black and orange livery right now. Obviously Brett Wheeler has bright green 56 car. So a reminder once again as we come into the final race, our championship leader Brett Hobbs with a 46-point advantage over Nick Ryan in second place, Jason Crawford in third, Blaine Densley fourth, and Justin Wright and Nathan Allen. Sorry. Nick Ryan second, Jason Crawford third, not racing tonight. Blaine Densley and Justin Wright are fourth equal. Nathan Allen very close behind. So with Jason not being here, he will get back another 78 points in his drop round, but certainly going to make it very interesting as this battle unfolds here in the final race. Looks like we have our screen working now, showing the correct driver. So we're right there with Nick Ryan now. And we have 30 seconds left in this warm-up. Drivers get a little bit vocal in the background on the voice comms, letting their hair loose for the last round. Certainly looking to put on a show tonight are all our drivers. Every championship point very precious for the overall standings, and that will be the warm-up session completed. And Tyson there over the drivers chat giving me a bit of grief. Yeah, he doesn't like it when I talk about him. Maybe if he didn't crash the pace car all the time, you know, people would give him some slack. You guys can't hear the race briefing, but yeah, it's funny. Alrighty, so the race grid for the final race of the season. Brett Wheeler will take the pole, Blaine Densley on the outside, Braden Miller in third, Clayton Davies fourth, Nathan Allen fifth, Jason Burke sixth, Luke Johnson 7, Nick Ryan 8, Justin Wright 9, Tyler Sheath 10, Michael Locke 11, Cowie back there in 12th, and rounding out the field. That's not in order. Next page, please. There we go. Tony Walsh 13th. Brett Hobbs, after the crash in Heat 2, finds himself starting in 14th, and Craig Platter also finishing last in his heat, down in 15th. So two very quick guys starting at the back. My prediction early on is to keep an eye on them at the back, because they're going to be making some positions very quickly. I think the chances of safety car here are very high. We've already seen in practice plenty of contact drivers trying different lines, and we've got two very quick guys at the back that'll be wanting to get up and score points, especially our series leader Brett Hobbs coming into this final race. Alrighty, so 1 to green, the pace truck comes around once more. He's pulling into the pit lane this time, the lights are out, the green flag drops, and it is Brett Wheeler who leads the field through the first corner. Blaine Densley sticks to the outside. Third place, number 2 car, Braden Miller, working the inside line, trying to get the move done over Densley, and it looks like he has done so, and already we see the caution throw in. Missed that, must have been somewhere down the back. Nick Ryan involved there. We'll see if we can pull up a replay for that one. There we are. So Nick Ryan coming around, that's turn 2 there, down the back straight. Oh yeah, 3 wide down the straight, going into 4. No, not even into 3 and 4. A bit of contact on the straight, and the initial contact, I think, fair play. The second one may have been a little bit of net code. Nick Ryan, of course, 98 car up the top, and oh look, he's been slid straight up into. And yeah, that looks to be definitely end of line penalty for the other car involved, I would think. Seeing as Tyson's listening. Look at that, I'm even doing his job for him tonight. Alrighty, so as Tyson there issues that end of line penalty to Tyler Sheaf, we pace in single file. We've had, oh whoops, that's warm up. Just the 1 lap completed. We will go back to double file for the restart. Brett Wheeler leading, Braden Miller, Clayton Davies, Blaine Densley, Nathan Allen there, one to watch in the championship hunt, currently sitting in 5th place in the 83 car. Justin Wright, another series contender, sitting down the order in 8th as well. Brett Hobbs only manages to make a couple of positions. He's currently running 13th. So our championship contenders right now spread out throughout the field. Brett Wheeler will lead them off once again. Pace truck will be in this lap. And we go green, and Brett Wheeler gets the jump this time. Hugs the inside fence line, slides up to the high side, coming down the back straight into 3 and 4. What line did he take? Again, running low. Blaine Densley trying to stick high. We've seen him work high earlier, has played into his advantage. Clayton Davies in 3rd place, hunting him down as well. Justin Wright on screen back there in 8th place. He's trying to make a move work. Wants to get as many points as he can. If he can get the passing done early, it's going to save him a lot of hassle when the track starts to slick up a little bit later on. However, it does seem though at the moment he's finding a bit of space. Nathan Allen trying to make a move now over Braden Miller. Switches up to the high side, gets it done. Oh, that was the 74 car, Jason Berkey's just passed, sorry. Hunting down Braden Miller now. It's a bit hard with the timing screen. I'm so used to watching the splits go up and down. And Cowie there calling into race control, it seems. Not quite sure what happened to him there. What's this black stuff? I've just noticed that there on Nathan's title card. The black stuff is the rubber, and you want to avoid that by all means. It's the last place you want to put your car. Very, very slippery there on the black stuff. As we watch our series leader Brett Hobbs go up the inside of the 78. That's Justin Wright. He hasn't quite made that move done yet. Looks like he's got in front this time, slides up the track. Crisscross coming down now as Justin Wright moves to the inside, looking to get the position back. Great racing here from these two, side-by-side action. Brett Hobbs gets the move done this time, working around the outside. He will hold the position, and it looks as though Craig Platter coming through around the outside as well. He's not quite clear of Justin Wright just yet. Tucks in behind, this time he gets him on the outside. So the inside line not working too well for Justin Wright. Speed for our series contenders up high, and there's a bit of contact on the background as well. Didn't quite catch who that was. They seem to have got away with it reasonably well, though. I think it may have had Blaine Densley involved in there a little bit as well. He's trying to make his way back up through the field. Further up towards the front, Brett Wheeler still leading this race. Braden Miller chasing him down. He's hot on the tail. Both of them seem to be running low at the moment, which interestingly didn't seem to be working for the guys further back in the field. Brett Hobbs now making his way up into 8th place. Side by side for our race leader. Braden Miller goes down low. Brett Wheeler gets pushed up high, and Braden Miller has made the pass for the lead. So it is the battle of the 56 and the 2 car. The 56 car sticks the nose up on the inside there. Of Braden Miller. The number 2 car gets the pass done again. Brett Wheeler takes the lead back here. We are approaching halfway. That's 15 laps down now this time by. And it's side by side for the lead. The number 2 car slips up down to the bottom. Puts the slide job on. Crisscross now back across. Brett Wheeler goes down low through 3 and 4. Slides up high on the track. You see the drive coming off the peak of the corner there for Miller. Gets that move done back again, and these guys are swapping corners right now. Brett Wheeler goes down low. Again, instead to see him slide up, make the pass. Turned in very early this time. Did Braden Miller in the white car. Brett Wheeler running up high. Braden Miller this time gets the advantage, going down low. Not too much of an advantage though, as Brett Wheeler slips back up in front again in the 56. So great battling there from the front. We jump back to Brett Hobbs, currently running in 8th place. All over the back of Luke Johnson now, and Craig Platter in behind him as well. So those two we mentioned a little bit earlier, championship contenders, very fast guys, trying to make their way through the field. Luke Johnson, the next victim now for Brett Hobbs. He goes low. He's been seeing the action there at the moment. The black and green 64 car running down the low side, trying to make it work. Craig Platter looks to be a little bit quicker up high. He's got a good run on Hobbs down the back straight there. He switches up high. We ride on board with Craig Platter. We see him dive inside. He's going to have a good run on Hobbs here. Oh, a little bit of contact. Has to check up. Going into 1 and 2. And they're side by side down the straight. Craig Platter looks like he's going to get this move done. Slide job up on Hobbs. Oh, he's rotated the car. He's gone in too hot. Over-rotated the car. He's cost himself a couple of positions there for sure. At least one more position anyway. As who was that sliding through? Nick Ryan slides through. Another championship contender. Meanwhile, up the top, the leaders have caught lap traffic. So Brett Wheeler and Braden Miller currently working on the 50 car. Is it 50 car? No, what is it? I can't even see what car that is. Who is that? 250. It might be Cowie. 10 Michael Locke. Who's in front? So the yellow flag is out. It looked like one of the back markers spun around there in all that incident. So we'll see if we can pull that up. So Tyler Sheaf there was the one that spun. So yeah, a little bit of contact down the straight. He's put himself into the wall. Oh right, and the leaders have arrived on that. We saw the leaders were with the leaders as they passed it. Thought potentially they may have been involved, but no, not the case. So doing well to avoid Tyler there, having a bit of a wreck there by himself, it seems. Moves further down the field. We have completed 25 of the 30 laps, so we go green in a couple of laps with 4 to go. Yeah, Michael Locke caught up with that battle on the leaders. Of course, we will redress somewhat into race positions. Give the guys up the front a clean run. Of course, championship here on the line. My math ain't that good to do the quick calculations, but I'll certainly try and get some calculations done very quickly after the race finishes to give you guys a pretty good idea on the provisional championship standings. So Brett Hobbs currently at the moment the hard charger up 6 positions. Clayton Davies also up 3 in the 50 car. So he's done quite well out of that little skirmish there. Brett Wheeler and Braden Miller find themselves behind Clayton Davies, and Clayton Davies not actually in the championship as such. A little bit further down in 15th. I know from talking to a couple of the drivers throughout the week, they've sort of got little positions where they're aiming for in the championship. So we go green for hopefully the final time. 4 laps to go. Clayton Davies working up on that high side. Braden Miller down the middle. Brett Wheeler in the bright green car. Sort of sticking down low as well. And there's been contact down the back of the field in 3 and 4. Just to say, let's hope we get green to the finish. Blaine Densley gets caught up. I'm not quite sure who he got caught up with. We'll get the replay there. We'll see what happened. Jason Burke looks to be the car he was battling with. Oh yeah, so Blaine has found himself riding the wall a little bit there. And as the car's gripped up off the wall, has found himself coming down the track very heavily. So possibly an end of line penalty there to be had as well for Densley. So 3 laps of green racing to go. And Clayton Davies currently sitting in first place. Braden Miller in second, Brett Wheeler third. And as it stands, none of the top 3 are actually in the championship hunt. So the lower points, as they start to spread out, I think they're all 6-point intervals. Yeah, they are. So the lower points here are going to be quite interesting. Certainly some of these guys that needed a few positions on their rivals could make the championship hunt very, very interesting. So it all comes down to this, a 3-lap sprint here at VOLUSIA Speedway, the half-mile dirt track, to round off the DSL Welding Services 360 Sprint Car Series for SRW TV. It's been great fun having the dirt cars here in the SRW program. Next year they're going to take a little bit of a hiatus. Hopefully we'll get them back a little bit later on next year. There's certainly a demand for dirt racing in the community. Had a pretty competitive field here this year, and we've had some come and go throughout the season as well. Obviously retention's always a big point of contention for series, and SRW constantly innovating, constantly changing to meet the needs of the racers, the teams, the community. And we go green once again. 2 laps to go now, and up high is Clayton Davies. Braden Miller goes low, Brett Wheeler goes high. Nathan Allen kind of in the middle, just looking and waiting. Brett Wheeler in the bright green car on the outside gets the good run on the high side as Barney waves the white flag. We ride on board underneath the wing of Brett Wheeler. Now to helmet cam for the final lap, the final corner. Working on the high side, it's going to be a drag race to the finish. The checkered flag is out. Clayton Davies will win this race, and Brett Wheeler steals one on the outside, coming home in second place from Braden Miller in third, Nathan Allen fourth. And we'll go through the rest of the grid momentarily as all the cars finish. And we get the verified results up. Bit of carnage there in the background, some of the drivers celebrating the season off by totaling their cars as the podium park up. So your Heat 2 results, Rob. Oh, okay. Someone obviously hasn't finished the race. I know there are a few guys having a bit of wreckfest in the background. Brett Wheeler parking up there on the podium. It does look like he has potentially won the series. A few donuts there from Nathan Allen, gets upside down and sideways. Justin Wright joins in on the fun. So these guys unwinding a little bit as the season ends there. No, still Heat 2 results. Bit of carnage there from the drivers, letting off some steam as the series finishes. So we're just waiting for the drivers to come into the green room. Yeah, not quite sure what's going on with the overlays. So I'll do a quick rundown from my screen. So in first place, Clayton Davies. Second place, Brett Wheeler. Braden Miller third, Nathan Allen fourth, Luke Johnson fifth, Nick Ryan in sixth, Craig Platter finishing up in seventh, Brett Hobbs eighth, Justin Wright 9, Blaine Densley 10, Tony Walsh 11, Jason Burke 12, Michael Loke 13, 14 is Cowie, and Tyler Sheaf rounding out the field there, finding himself in a little bit of hassle. Yep, give me 2 seconds. Yep, alrighty, let's pull in our drivers for our post-race interview for the final round. We'll start with third place, Braden Miller. Braden Miller, mate, third place in the final round. Talk us through your race tonight, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just raced as I normally would and came away with third. I don't know. I don't think I could have done anything different, to be honest. I would have liked to get to the top a little bit, but I don't know. I was never going to pass Davies if he's going to run the same line, and then obviously I lost it there on the last corner, so it is what it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, mate, that last corner, it looked like you had a good battle there with Wheeler throughout the race. How was, obviously, you know, a lot of respect shown between you guys throughout the series. Another classic battle for you, was it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, he's got a lot of experience on the sim, which is, you know, obviously pays off and it shows. I can't say I've done a whole lot of races with him, but, you know, like, we've done races and stuff before, and, you know, he's an ex-pro driver, so it's just, you know, he's a high caliber sort of driver. You know, Davies is a current pro driver as well, so, you know, I'm not upset to come second or third to those guys, so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Another good result, and certainly you've had some good results throughout the season. It's been a pleasure having you in SRW. Congratulations on third place here tonight. And obviously the sprint car's not carrying on next season, but
they're not?
At the moment they're not, but maybe a bit later on in the year. So hopefully we'll see you back if SRW do run them again.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out on what they're running, and we'll see where we go.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Alrighty. Any sponsors, any people you need to thank out? Just give a shout out to for the final race of the season.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the broadcast. All the guys at SRW putting the league on. Blaine 27 Designs doing the paint. Clayton CD Cinematography. My neighbour for showing up for racing, and yeah, the top 3. Congratulations. Top 2, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, mate. And like I say, hopefully we'll see you again sometime soon.
Yeah, no worries.
Alrighty, we'll move on to second place, and Brett Wheeler. Brett, mate, second place tonight for the final round. Talk us through that one, man.
Yeah, that was interesting. Track was I think sort of just getting racy towards the end of that feature. So if we had a sort of been able to run it in a little bit longer, I think we could have had a real different racetrack than what we had. But yeah, overall a good night.
Yeah, it certainly seems to have been a little bit of a trend throughout the series. The racing just starts getting good as the checkered flag waves. I was just saying to Braden, at the moment we don't have sprint cars confirmed next season, but if we do get them back a little bit later on next year, certainly some feedback to take on board for the admins.
Oh, look, there's always things to improve on, no matter whether you're running this first time or whether you're doing this for your 21st time. Look, I've only been here, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, and I think the worst I've finished is 4. So, look, it's been enjoyable. I just wish I was here for the duration of the season. But yeah, look, I can't complain. I know what it takes to do these league events, and there's a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes to make these events possible. So, hats off to all the SRW guys that really work their backsides off to put these on.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's always great to have you show up, a driver of your standard and caliper. You put on some great racing there. Good battle with Braden Miller early on. Talk us through that one, man.
Yeah, look, Braden's a real classy driver. He's respectful. He'll give you the room. I've got to apologise to him. We got together. I think I slid him in 3 and 4 once, and we sort of banged wheels, and he sort of come off second best. So, look, again, to him, I apologise for that. That's obviously not the way I want to race him, but we were racing really hard there at that stage. But in the end, Clayton sort of caught up to us, and what was going to be good, just as we were getting into lap traffic, I thought, we might be able to get the lead back, because at that stage when we just got to lap cars, actually fell back from leading back to 3rd place. But look, Clayton and Braden are really good drivers, and it really showed here tonight.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And as you say, not really around enough to be in the championship, but certainly good results when you were here. Who do you need to thank, mate? Who gets you to where you are?
The team at Black Diamond Motorsports and Momentum Sim Sports. Clayton Tilley, again, although this is Fix It Up Racing, he does a lot for me, even when I not around as much with Speed Shop 51 and making sure I'm always going to be competitive. The guys back at LJR, Platsy, Johnson, J-Dub, we had Nick in there tonight, who was racing. Obviously, SRW for not only putting on the league but also putting on the broadcast, DSL Welding, and the Dirt Oval Series sponsors as well, Warren and Brown Tools, Pagnian, and also promo department. So without those guys, this doesn't happen. And obviously, you guys for the broadcast each and every week, you've done a great job.
Yeah, cheers, thanks, mate. It's been a pleasure having you here. When you have been here, always great to see you racing, and hopefully we'll see you again sometime soon. Yeah,
hopefully it comes back for next season. But we'll keep an eye out on the SRW social media page. If it does come back, we'll certainly be here. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Thanks. And we will now move to our feature winner for the final round of the 360 Sprint Cars, Clayton Davies. Winner here, round 9 of the DSL Welding Services Sprint Cars. Talk us through your race, mate.
Yeah, it was a good one. It took a couple laps for us to really find our momentum and track down the leaders, but it was good, clean racing. Like, I think the boys up in front had a couple of bumps, but that's just hard racing. I don't think any of that was in malice, and pretty much just had to play patient till we seen an opening. And yeah, just as soon as I was able to get a nose in the door, I took the opportunity and just tried to run away with it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And you sort of sat there in 3rd for quite a little bit, and then you had that caught the lap traffic. Was that sort of an advantage or disadvantage to you?
I think in a lot of situations, being the leader can be more of a disadvantage than someone chasing them down, because we have opportunities to check other lines to see what works, where the leader's kind of really out on their own. Like, they're the ones setting the pace, and I think when you get to lap traffic, it can either work in your favour or it can work against you. It just depends on what the lappers are doing. Actually, surprisingly, compared to most times, is the lappers actually held their line fairly well for the most part. Big shout out to them. A lot of dudes, it's pretty daunting when you have some of the faster guys come up on you. You don't really know where they're running, and you don't really want to get in their way. But the lap guys did a really great job. But yeah, it's just depending on where you got to pick your times. Hopefully, like if you got a lot of fast dudes, you try and hold them up behind a pace car, really not give them a line to get to. Like if I had a run on Brett, and I knew that I had to really keep it down low and box him in to kind of cement myself with the position like on the track to where I was, and it just happened that Braden came up a lane and I was able to sneak under him too. It wasn't even planned. I was just already up the inside of him before I knew I made a pass.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It seemed like guys were sort of finding pace everywhere on the track tonight. Was that sort of what you were seeing?
Yeah, I feel like it was starting to get really good towards the last 10 laps. When you track, like this track in particular, it only gets racy when it's on the slicker side. Most half miles are really hard to wear in, but when they wear in, that you'll get good racing out of 360s, and yeah, I reckon we're on another 5 laps, and I reckon you would have seen some more wild passes happen.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's certainly exciting when you guys start sending out those fly jobs. We did see a few starting to come, but yeah, as you mentioned, the track's sort of not quite getting to that state. Hey, mate, well, you've had the race win here for the final round. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast in the league. Like, as what I heard before, that it's not coming back next season, which is a shame. It's like, more sprint car leagues, the better, I say. Yeah, it's just thankful that you guys put it on. Sponsor-wise, I'd like to thank Western Machine Shop, 27 Designs. Blaine always does an awesome job. Did this awesome retro paint for me. Miller, Glennie, everyone who jumps in Discord or supports me throughout, whether it's in a league, just a local league race like SRW, or if it's in Pro Series, it's always appreciated. And yeah, thanks.
Not a problem at all, mate. Congratulations on taking out the final round. Clayton Davies, our first place feature winner here tonight for round 9 in the DSL Welding Services Sprint Car Series. And that does conclude our broadcast for tonight. Just quickly, these are very provisional championship points. Be sure to check out the socials for the final official results. But just quickly, based on my math, Brett Hobbs, championship leader, coming in with 972 points. Second place, Nick Ryan, 930. In third place, Jason Crawford hangs on. No, he doesn't, sorry. Blaine Densley there sneaks in front with 800 and... No, hang on, this isn't right either. This isn't sorted out. Hang on, let me see if I can sort this. Math is very, very hard. Alright, so... whoopsie-daisy, hang on. Alrighty, so... 972, Brett Hobbs. 930, Nick Ryan. 894, Justin Wright, coming home in third place. 888, Blaine Densley, fourth. 882, Jason Crawford, after missing this week, comes home in fourth. And then 846, Braden Miller, fifth. Those are the ones that I've calculated just because I figured they were the guys that were sort of there or thereabouts tonight. So yeah, provisional championship, first place Brett Hobbs, second Justin Wright, and third Blaine Densley. Like I say, keep an eye out on the socials and in the Discord for the official results, because someone will put a lot more time and effort into it than what I just did quickly while I was trying to conduct the interviews. And with that, we just have the wrap up. So a lot happening here for SRW TV, even though the season is coming to an end. We have our massive racecraft giveaway on our YouTube channel. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving away that prize package. We have our Camus Enduro weekend, 2 Camus Ultimate Sim bundles to give away, as well as 12-month subscriptions across the support classes on the Saturday, with the endurance racing on the Sunday. There's really a whole lot of information there. I really do suggest you head over to the socials on Facebook, on the website, and in the Discord for all the information regarding to that weekend. I know there are very limited entries still available. for the Endurance Series that is filling up very, very fast. So if you haven't got a team already, by all means jump in there and do so. Massive prizes on offer, and it's something you definitely want to be a part of. And of course, all that is going to be broadcast. In more recent weeks, we've announced next season we're going to be going to free-to-air TV as well, and there's some more stuff in the works from SAW as well in the off-season. So do keep an eye out on all the socials. There's plenty happening here at SAW TV. My name has been Brendan. I've had Rob up in production. We've had Tyson in race control. Guys, it's been 9 weeks. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you the 360 Dirt Sprint Cars. I look forward to seeing what next year has in store. But for now, my name is Brendan, and I'm signing off for the final time this season. We'll see you again for the rest of the week, and hopefully again next year. Bye for now, guys.